Hey guys, welcome to Bolt from the Blue Tarot. My name is Sam, and tonight we have quite the reading lined up for you, I am sure. I was kind of being pulled in as I was setting things up, and I was like, oh, here we go again. So whatever is coming through feels very high vibrational and very subtle to my perception. Extra dimensional feeling. And I'm just being told to trust what comes through. So might be a little bit kooky. We will see. We'll see. I'm excited. I have a new deck. Check this out. Earth Wisdom Oracle. And this is by Barbara Moore with artwork by Christina Scagliotti. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But yeah, I've been receiving a lot of messages about Earth Wisdom recently, and this deck I ran across on Reddit and it looked just perfect, and it is just perfect. We're going to get a starting energy from this deck. This is the first time I'm using this deck. I haven't used it for any readings for myself other than to ask the deck what it would be best used for. And it was the answer was basically about getting in touch with your highest self and learning more about consciousness, which I thought was really interesting. That's basically what all of my readings are about anyway. So it's more than welcome here in the lineup. But yeah, I'm excited to use it for a starting energy here on the channel. Oh, guys, 25. Truth. This is actually the card that I saw displayed on Reddit on a post, and I saw it and I thought, oh hell yeah, that is right up my alley. I love the plants growing on the harp strings. I like imagining the sound that they would make even sweeter due to them being earth magic. Like I'm sorry guys, I'm being pulled under still. I'm not sure how much sense I'll make. But I like that the water is floating up out of the flowers as well. 25, truth. Let's see what's going on. Let me leave her playing the harp for you just here. Attune to that while I look it up in the book. If you guys ever watch readers and you're like, are they half drunk right now? What is going on? Most likely they are not, and they are just in a trance state which is going in and out of heaviness. So they're being pulled a little deeper, and as that happens, it might sound like they're almost slurring. And I didn't think that would happen to me until I started this channel, and now it does. 25, truth. So what I like about each of these cards is they have a specific plant on them, and they have a specific crystal, and it talks about both of them and the symbolism there along with the earth energy. So foxglove is the flower here, helps open the heart and express feelings. Amazonite promotes knowing and speaking the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The wheels of society are greased by civility, which sometimes means not always speaking the truth or the whole truth. However, in this situation, you are called upon to understand your own truth and to speak it clearly. This may be why I was told to just trust what comes through. No matter how strange it may seem, your truth is the music of your brave heart. Offer it to the world. And then there's kind of like an affirmation at the end. So for this one, it is, I actively pursue my own truth and value it. I have the courage to sing my own unique, divinely inspired song, knowing that it adds to the goodness of the world. Yeah, you're made just the way that you are, and it's perfect. Like the way that you naturally are. If everyone were to just be their authentic selves, like we're in an infinitely self-organizing universe and things would just click into place for everyone. Yeah, because we're moving in accordance with nature when we move in accordance with our true selves. This is earth wisdom coming through here. It's universal wisdom. We're moving in line with spirit, in line with the way. Okay. Truth. We're speaking truth. Okay. Yeah, and alongside that, let's grab a card from my storybook deck. This might add just a little bit to this message. Let's see what's up. Leslie Knope with her binders. This is from Parks and Rec. So this card encourages journaling or writing in the context of goal setting, planning, or reflection. There's something about the act of writing something down that makes it real, even if you have no idea what the plan is. Even if you're like, Sam, I don't know what I'm supposed to be writing about here. Like, get the pen, get the paper, get the notebook, get the stylus, get the tablet. You don't always, and I find this a lot with channeling especially, like there's an aspect of like whether or not you think of yourself as an intuitive person. If you go to this act, if you go to write without knowing what is going to come through, but knowing that you have to do some goal setting, planning, reflection, not have to, but that it might benefit you. Just the act of like getting everything together, being in a comfy spot to do this. Maybe you have a cup of tea with you. Just the act of doing this is like things can flow now, right? And they can just flow through you, through your hand and onto the paper. Whether you think you can channel or not, you can and do. You can and you do. And you have before and you can again. And it's not something that you really have to try to do. It will just happen. That's what's coming through from these guides. It will just happen. So, look, sometimes you don't always know before you write. Sometimes you have to write to know. And that is my experience with channeling in general. Sometimes, I don't know what's going to come through, but I have to begin it in order to know. Right? If I sat around, trying to figure out what the message was going to be before I delivered it, it wouldn't, like, it's kind of a fruitless thing. You have to start it to find out. That's when it comes through. And especially if this is something that's maybe a little bit difficult for you, have a little treat lined up for yourself. Part of this card is, if you've seen the show, Leslie Knope is really into waffles. So what's your equivalent of waffles, and how can you kind of like be enjoying this thing as you do it, or as a little kind of treat afterwards? So one example would be like you're doing this, you've decided to put pen to paper, you've set it all up, and you have a cup of hot chocolate. And you have like a brownie. I really like chocolate, guys. That's what I'm into. Um, what's your chocolate? What's your waffles? And just make it feel cozy. A lot of it is like right now it's a little chilly. It's winter when I'm recording this. I got a blanket to keep my legs nice and warm because I'm channeling. I don't know how long I'm going to be here, and if you're cozy, you're a lot more receptive and relaxed, and that will help. Okay, I'm hearing we're doing more from here. Words are difficult in this state. It's like the words that I try to articulate that are purely logical or like framing for this reading are hard to come by, but the ones that are channeled are easy. And there's something about that as well. When something comes through, you're like, Sam, when am I channeling? It's like when it feels easy, when it feels flowy, when it feels like a woman playing a plant harp. um, she has her eyes closed. She's not even like, there's a sense that she's channeling the music as well. She's relaxed. Yeah, it's like the things that you have to make happen, the contrived things in this context are not channeled, the framing aspects. But the things that just sort of flow, yeah, that's when you know. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see what else. Kirk and Spock playing chess. How fitting. From a message from very high vibrational, extra dimensional beings. This is about your higher self, your guides, someone in higher dimensions playing 5D chess. If you've ever watched Star Trek, the original series, Kirk and Spock play on this chessboard that has like these different levels. And they might even call it, I think they call it 3D chess. And for the purposes of this card, I thought it would be very clever to call it 5D chess. I read this in a recent reading, so let me tune in and see which parts of this are for you. So my sense is you don't know what's going on right now. Or okay, they're just saying like what I'm getting is messages delivered from this card. Things are being worked out on higher levels. Plans are in the works. Things are being moved around and maneuvered. So there's this sense that like you might not know what's going on as you do this, or why you need to do this, why you're being encouraged to do this. But there's this sense that like you might not discover all of the ins and outs of this, but you're going to discover some personal truths, or once you put pen to paper, some things will come through that you're like, oh no, like, I don't know what's going on in general, but that is for sure true. Like, this I can say, this I can back 100%, right? Like, this makes sense to me. It can be difficult when we don't know what the hell is going on and we're told that we're not supposed to know, or divine timing is at play, for lack of a better term, and you just have to like go with the flow. The ego can have a hard time with it. So this is like a very, very clever way that's being suggested of cutting through that. It's like the ego likes things like this, right? To sit down and like, okay, now I have a task to do, right? Like, it's something it can wrap its head around. And then as you do it, what you're actually doing is channeling, right? So it's a very interesting, like the ego gets you there. That's the framing part. And then highest self will channel through what you need to know, or what is useful for you to know. Let's put it that way. Like the truth's lowercase t at the very least. Some truths you can use, you know. Like when I go to watch tarot readings, I always ask Spirit for some news I can use on YouTube. And you might not figure out by doing this, by listening to a tarot reading, A, B, C, D, like everything that is going on every level for you. And this is a reminder that like it most likely could not be conveyed to you through any single tarot reading anyway, right? Like it's a little bit complex, everything that's going on. And to explain all of it would actually probably confuse you more than helping you. There are some definite things that would definitely help you. And this is how to get to them. So this tarot reading might not tell you those definite lowercase t truths for you. But it can give you some advice to point you in the direction that will. I'm getting a real sense of accomplishment these days because I'll be told to pull like 4 or 5 decks, and then I'll use the first couple and tune in and be like, is that, and now we do the tarot, and they're like, actually no, you're good, you nailed it, message delivered. This is a simple one. I mean, not simple. This is a starting point for you. This is like this is very, very clever and very wise advice, because it can be very frustrating to be told like, you have all the answers, just go within, when you're in a situation that is completely like batshit and confusing, right? But there's so much at play here that will really, really help you. And it's concrete advice. It's some news you can use. And it also doesn't like rob you of your own efficacy, your own power within this, your ability to find a way through this. I don't even want to say solve a problem, because like you don't have to solve a problem necessarily. This is just about getting to a useful space where you can act from the right disposition and towards useful ends. Okay. Yeah, that's truly it. That's truly it. Whoa. Thank you for joining me on the first day of using this Earth Wisdom Oracle. And, my channel is very young, and I love to hear from you guys. Like if you are currently subscribed to this channel, you are an OG. I think there's only like 35 people right now. And I would love for you to comment and let me know like what came of this if you chose to do it. If you chose to put pen to paper, what did you discover? And when it comes to it, like what's shaken out from the 5D to the 3D in your world? I would really, really love to know. This was a very quick reading compared with what I've been used to recently, possibly because I can't really last that long in this state. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck with this. And you've got this. There's no urgency here. Like, you've got this. This is some very concrete advice that will bring you in like this paradoxical touch with your highest self. It'll be like this natural thing that you don't even have to, like, you couldn't make it happen if you wanted to. It's just going to flow. It's going to be beautiful. Take it easy, guys.